Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my most complimented perfumes in 2023 so far. Last year, I just waited until the end of the year and I did one big video. I keep a running list on my phone of perfumes that I get compliments on. If I get more than a few, more than 2 or 3 compliments on a perfume, I'll put it down in my phone so that I can come back and tell you guys about it. But last year, I felt like I had so many perfumes that I was talking about in the video. I decided that this year I was going to break it in half. Now, just a disclaimer, I am not claiming that people chase me down on the street complimenting my perfumes or anything like that. I have people in my life that know that I'm really into fragrances, and because of that, I feel like my friends and family and coworkers, people in my life, are more prone to say something about my perfume if they like it because they know that I'm into fragrances. However, that's not to say I haven't had strangers compliment me on these fragrances. So with all of that out of the way, if you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here. I hope that you will consider subscribing and hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload a new video. I try to upload about 2 videos per week. And to all of my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all of your continued support. I just absolutely love you guys, and thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, of course, I wear perfumes for me. It really matters what I think of the fragrance, but it doesn't hurt to get compliments. And these are the fragrances that I have the most compliments on so far. So let's start back in the early part of the year, January, February time frame. I was wearing this fragrance all the time, especially in January. This is by the House of Xerjoff Italica. This is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance that I fell madly in love with in the winter time. I think I got it in December of 2022, and then January it was on my tray and I used up a lot of this bottle. I haven't worn it in a little while because the weather's starting to get pretty warm, and this is a cold weather fragrance for me. This is very gourmand, it's milky, and it would be too much for the hot weather. But when fall and winter comes, I'll be using up this bottle, and it will definitely be a 100 ml purchase for me. Absolutely. I think this smells so good. If you are a gourmand lover, if you love milk, if you love almonds, if you love toffee, you gotta get your nose on this. This is delicious. However, when I first tried this fragrance, I did not like it. I had a sample of it and I thought it smelled like burnt plastic, and I absolutely hated it. I did not see the hype behind it. Probably about a year later, I decided to try it again, and I absolutely loved it and had to order a bottle. This has milk, almond, and saffron in the opening, so you do have to be a fan of milky notes. You do have to be a fan of saffron and almond. I love the combination, and somehow, some way, this kind of comes across as boozy to my nose, even though there are no boozy notes listed in here, but it kind of comes across as like an amaretto type of liqueur. It just smells amazing. And then, like I mentioned, there's toffee in here, which I love toffee. I love to eat toffee and I love to smell toffee. There's vanilla, there's white musk and sandalwood in here, so it's lactonic, it's creamy, it's sweet, it's gourmand, it's edible, it's delicious. It has decent performance on me. It's not a beast, but I don't really have any issues with it. This is full bottle worthy and one of my very favorite perfumes, especially one of my very favorite gourmands in my entire collection. So I did get a lot of compliments on this one, and for good reason. It's amazing. That is by the House of Xerjoff Italica. All right, up next, also in January, February, I was wearing a lot. I was wearing this fragrance a lot. This is by Parfums de Marly. This is Herod. I fell so in love with this fragrance. I tested it at a boutique in Charleston and I couldn't believe it. I mean, you could have picked my job off the floor because I was shocked that I loved this. I was sniffing the women's line, and I just out of curiosity, I decided to go over because I had heard so many people raving about this. I just decided, you know, I wanted to try it and all the other fragrances just fell away. And I knew I had to have Herod. I think this is a gorgeous fragrance. So top notes, you have cinnamon and you have black pepper. I get the cinnamon more than anything, and I am a huge fan of cinnamon. There's a lot of tobacco in here, but to me it's a sweet tobacco. And then there are a lot of notes in here, but mostly what I get is cinnamon, sweet tobacco, and then I get a lot of vanilla in the base, and I could not stop wearing this when the weather was still cooler, and this is just so gorgeous. This is one of the very few fragrances that my husband and I both share because he loves this one as well. He has also received compliments on this. My husband is a boat captain, and he gets a lot of people that he interacts with from like different places. You know, there are a lot of people that come to do tours. He does tours out to an island, and he does like plantation tours and things like that. Anyway, people from all over who are on vacation come and go on these boat tours, so he meets all different kinds of people. And it is funny, some of the stories that he tells me, but there are some women apparently who really liked this fragrance on my husband. So yeah, this is definitely a compliment getter. I think both men and women can easily wear this, and I have received a lot of compliments on this one for sure. I get really good performance out of this. My husband gets really good performance out of it, and it's one of my favorite perfumes in my collection. So that is by Parfums de Marly, Herod. All right, up next, another one I was wearing during the cold weather months at the beginning of the year is by Navitus Parfums, and this is Chocolate Queen. This one I got a lot of compliments on by strangers. This wasn't just friends and family. I had people, it was at the grocery store. I've said this before, but I get compliments at the grocery store, and somebody left a comment that it was because the grocery store smells not great, you know? You've got like onions and fish and things like that. Sometimes it doesn't smell very good, so if you smell something pleasant, you're more likely to notice the pleasant smell over the bad smells. And I thought that was a really great theory. That's probably true. But I do get a lot of compliments from people checking me out. Not checking me out, not like checking me out, checking my groceries out. I got a lot of compliments from people checking out my groceries at the grocery store on Chocolate Queen, and it just really is one of those fragrances that it's not common, you know, it's not just a perfume you smell everywhere, you know, this isn't something that you're going to smell on anyone else. It is very gourmand. It is obviously Chocolate Queen, but I love what they did in here. I love how they added the woody notes in here to tone it down, because I was really scared of this fragrance at first. I thought this was going to be too much. I love gourmands. I'm a gourmand girl, but if it's too rich and decadent and sweet all at the same time, dessert upon richness upon sweetness, and I thought it was going to be like sickeningly too much, but it's not. The way this is done is absolute perfection, and the scent trail that this leaves is divine. This has dark chocolate, hazelnut, and dulce de leche in the opening, so doesn't that just sound like a lot? You know, it sounds like it's going to be a lot. And then it has chocolate fudge, it has Irish cream, and it also has caramel, bitter almond, and then there's praline, sandalwood, amberwood, and vanilla. That sandalwood, amberwood, and even the bitter almond in here just helps to offset all of those sweet gourmand notes, so it never feels like too much. It never feels too rich. Oh, this one's so good. I really miss this one. I haven't worn this one since the weather started getting warm, because this would just be too much in the hot weather. But when fall and winter comes, I am definitely going to be wearing this because I think this is a gorgeous fragrance. So that is by Navitus Parfums, Chocolate Queen, and this is in collaboration with Gabby from Gabby Loves Perfumes. Another one I wear a lot in the winter, and I wore, I believe, like February, Marchish kind of time. This is by YSL, and this is Libre Intense. And this is absolutely gorgeous. This is my favorite flanker out of all of them. The original is okay, but it's not my favorite. It's a little bit screechy for me. I really love the Les Parfums. I have a travel size of that, but my favorite is the Intense version. This one is very vanilla forward. I love this perfume so much. It almost gives me like a salted caramel vibe. There's like a, not the whole perfume, but there's just like this feeling of salted caramel in here. I'm not really sure where that's coming from, but there's a lot of lavender in here. So basically there's lavender, mandarin orange, and bergamot, and then there's more lavender, there's orange blossom, there's jasmine sambac, and orchid. So there is a lot of florals in here. So this is a vanilla, white floral, ambery type of fragrance. Very warm, very powerhouse. There is Madagascar vanilla in the base, there's tonka bean, ambergris, and vetiver. And I think that's where I'm getting that salted caramel vibes from the ambergris, because sometimes ambergris comes across as salty on my skin. And then there's a lot of a warmth to this fragrance that just smells so good. It's just so good. I feel like the color of the juice really represents how this smells. If a color had a smell, it would be this. This is just a powerhouse. This makes me feel like I'm put together, and it is a compliment getter. It is a strong perfume, so I have to be careful not to overspray, but it is definitely one that is well complemented, and it just is beautiful for cold weather. Plus, I always tell you guys how much I love this bottle. I love the YSL logo, and I think this bottle is beautiful. All right, up next we have by Jousset Parfums. This is Accident à la Vanille. I think I wore this one more in January than anything. January, February. Still wintertime. This is definitely a wintertime perfume. Oh, I've missed this. Oh, this smells so good. I'm like craving gourmands right now, which is weird because it's summertime. It's not really summer, but it's starting to feel like summer here in South Carolina. If you love vanilla, if you love caramel and vanilla fragrances, then you need to definitely try this. My husband complimented me, and every time I wear this, he tells me I smell like a snack. I won't go into detail about any more things that he says. He loves this fragrance on me, and he definitely thinks I smell edible whenever I wear it. You have vanilla in every single layer of this fragrance. So top note is vanilla, and then in the mid you have vanilla and sandalwood. So definitely a creaminess to this, and then there is vanilla and styrax. And I don't know what's causing that caramel vibe. There's no caramel listed in the notes, but that's what it smells like to me. Very gourmand, realistic, like a caramel vanilla cookie baking in the oven. If you're into that, especially during cold weather, I love smelling like a snack. During the holidays, it's just so perfect. So that is by Jousset Parfums, Accident à la Vanille. All right, up next we have a very affordable gem, and I think this was on my February or March tray, but I got a ton of compliments on this, which doesn't surprise me because it smells like another fragrance that I have in my collection that I get a ton of compliments on. This is by Afnan, and this is Modest Deux. This smells a lot like Lancome's La Nuit Trésor. I almost forgot the name of it there for a second. La Nuit Trésor. In 2022, that was one of my most complimented perfumes of the year, and I'm not surprised that I got a ton of compliments on this one. They don't smell exactly the same, but if you're looking for something in the same family and you want to save some coin, this is a great affordable option. It has really good performance, and it's so fruity sweet. It's juicy. It's got some strawberry and raspberry. I believe there's cherry in here as well, but the fruit I personally pick up the most in this fragrance is raspberry. I can smell raspberry right away. There's dark chocolate in here. Oh, it's delicious. There's vanilla, there's some spices. I don't get a lot of spices. There's patchouli, gardenia, and musk. I don't pick up any gardenia, so don't let that scare you if you hate gardenia. It's not as dark to me. It's a little bit more bright, and it's a little bit more fruity and juicy, raspberry sweet than La Nuit Trésor is. La Nuit Trésor has like licorice and patchouli in the base. It has a deeper, darker base that I pick up on than in here. This is a little bit brighter. It is a compliment magnet. Men really like this. I think there's something about women smelling fruity. I don't know what it is about fruity fragrances that men seem to really like, but I get compliments from men on this fragrance, just like I got compliments from men on La Nuit Trésor. So beautiful, affordable gem. It's absolutely fantastic, and because it's not so deep in the base, I feel like this is a good fragrance that you could wear not just in the winter time. I feel like you could get away with this in fall, spring, winter. I don't think I would wear this one in the summer, not here, not in the dead heat. It's absolutely gorgeous and a compliment magnet. All right, and then I think maybe March-ish time frame, March, maybe April. This one is by the House of Thameen, and this is Peregrina. I got a lot of compliments from this. This was a compliment magnet from coworkers, friends, family. I think this was a big hit for a lot of people. This is a loved perfume in my house. And it smells very classy, sophisticated, feminine. It is sweet ambery rose. It's got some white florals. It's got some caramel in here, but it's not thick, syrupy, sweet caramel. There's some powdery notes in here. There's some vanilla. I think that this smells so good. I get really, really good performance out of this. This is an Extrait de Parfum, and it just lasts all day with the most intoxicating scent trail that people will smell, and you're gonna get compliments on this one for sure. If you like ambery rose fragrances with a hint of caramel, if you like a touch of powder in your fragrances, if you love vanilla, if you like a touch of white florals, if you love feminine fragrances, you need to get your nose on this one. But don't just get your nose on it. Don't smell it on a tester strip. You got to wear it, because the magic happens once you put it on your skin and you actually start wearing it. Once that scent bubble starts forming around you, I'm telling you, this thing is magic. So that is by the House of Thameen Peregrina. All right, up next in the March-ish time frame, March, April, I was wearing by Parfums de Marly Oriana a lot. I wore this one a lot in 2022, and it was very complimented in 2022, and it's very complimented in 2023. There's something about this. Again, it's feminine, it's sweet, it's fruity in the opening. There's raspberry, there's black currant, and then there's a lot of orange blossom, which I think smells very sweet and feminine. It's one of my favorite white florals. And then in the base, you have chantilly cream, and then you also have some vanilla, and you have marshmallows. Oh. And then there's just this little hint of a clean, dryer sheet smelling musk that somehow makes this fragrance just absolutely amazing to me. I love the whole combination, like just the entire wear of this perfume. I've told you guys before that I do not struggle with the performance of Oriana, but I will warn you that other people have said they do. I don't. I never have. I've always had pretty decent performance out of this. I know other people can smell me because I get complimented on this one a lot. Not just by family and friends, I've been complimented by strangers as well. And I absolutely adore this. So this is by Parfums de Marly Oriana. Okay, one that's pretty new to my collection, but this one gets a compliment almost every single time I wear it. I've had compliments from complete and total strangers on this one, and I think it's because it's a loud fragrance. It's a very strong and very noticeable fragrance. This one is not going to be very subtle at all. It's an Extrait de Parfum, and this is by Nishane. This is Ani. This is not everybody's favorite, but the people who love it absolutely love it, and I'm telling you, this is a compliment magnet. Now, for me, this is not too spicy, but I've heard some people say that they can't handle the spice in here. The spices are not over the top to me. I guess I have a high tolerance for spices, but it's a spicy green and citrusy vanilla basically, and I think it smells so, so good. I was very scared of this fragrance because of the green notes, but to me, I don't feel like it's overly green. I mean, there are green notes that I can definitely smell, but it's not over the top green. It's more spicy, citrusy than green to me, and the vanilla in here is just intoxicating. Compliment magnet for sure. If you want to guarantee compliments, you need to try this. It has, like I said, excellent performance and the most gorgeous, beautiful vanilla dry down. I could smell myself all day long. I do. Whenever I wear this, I'm always like catching myself, smelling myself. Basically, I compliment myself when I wear this fragrance, and I just think it's gorgeous. I'm kind of mad that I waited so long to try this fragrance because it's one of my all-time favorites, and this is going to be a lifer for me for sure. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous vanilla scent. I wore this last month. I wore this in April. And yeah, just about every time that I wore this, somebody said something about this perfume. And I was like, I know, right? This is a unisex fragrance, so I think this smells good on both men and women. I've actually heard some people say they think that this leans a little bit more on the masculine side, but that is not what my nose interprets at all. For me, this leans a little bit more on the feminine side, but it's all subjective, right? But just try it before you buy. This is definitely not a safe blind buy. It is a compliment magnet, but it's not safe. I don't think any of these are safe, to be honest. These are all, you got to try them. You got to get samples and test them out, but get your nose on this one for sure. So that is by Nishane Ani. All right, guys, and the perfume that I have been wearing nonstop. I just cannot get enough, and I cannot shut up about this perfume ever since I got it. It was hyped up to the moon and back. The hype is still very real. I don't know what it is about this fragrance, but this is by Narciso Rodriguez, and this is Musc Noir Rose. I've been talking about this one a ton. This dent you see here is a dent that I did last month in April because it was on my tray and I could not put it down. I got so many compliments on this. There's something to this. There's something in this fragrance that just is so addictive and makes people just stop and say, wow, you smell good. I got that a lot when I was wearing this. This is such a feminine, gorgeous, fruity, musky fragrance. There's something to the musk in here that just smells absolutely amazing. It's like a addicting aphrodisiac or something. You just want to keep smelling it and you never want to stop smelling it. It's so, so good. It's juicy plum in the opening. There's pink pepper, I believe. So it's a little tiny bit of a spicy kick, but not a lot, not over the top. The plum in here is just juicy sweet plum, not overly ripe, perfectly ripened, and then there's some rose and then that musk and vanilla. Mostly I get musk. Something about this musk, it's so smooth. I really struggle with this house. The musk sometimes is a little scratchy on me, a little bit too harsh for me, but not in here. That is not the case in this fragrance. It is the smoothest, most intoxicating and addicting musk I think I've ever smelled. So that is by Narciso Rodriguez, Musc Noir Rose. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's video. Those are the fragrances that I have received the most compliments on so far in 2023. And I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comment section, what perfumes do you get the most compliments on? Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!